Hello. So today we are going to be discussing lesson 7.2 and specifically be talking about the Aryan people coming into and living in India and the Indus River Valley. So if you recall from lesson 7.1, the Harappan civilization built great cities, right? They were planned cities, they had grid-like roads, they had underground sewer systems, they had some form of government and some form of writing system, and they had trade. They were these great civilizations, some of the earliest cities. But then they went on decline because a series of earthquakes um, dried up the Sarawati River and flooded the Indus River, forcing people to abandon their cities. So, like the great city of Mohenjo-Daro was abandoned because of these floods. And so, this left a void people. So, the Aryan people are who we are going to talk about today. So, they came in from northwest um, India through Europe. The Aryans are Indo-European people who spoke and wrote an ancient language called Sanskrit. They were very skilled horsemen and warriors. They were nomadic in nature, so they were originally always moving. They lived in simple homes. So they were completely different from their predecessors, the Harappan civilization, right? They do focus on conflict because they have skilled warriors, very simple homes, and they arrived in India about 200 years after the fall of the Harappan civilization. So it wasn't right away. It was 200 years later, roughly, but they did come. Right? Remember these warriors in the book? It talks about they had chariots and they had long bows and arrows with bronze axes. So they were very skilled warriors, which the Harappan, we have no evidence of weapons. So very completely different people, but they had the same need, right? Good farmland. And the Indus River Valley was where uh, they needed to be. So they come in, and one of the things they bring with them, and it eventually evolves. So they said they do have a social class system, the Aryan people, and over time, it was originally only the warriors, the priests, and the commoners, but as time went on, the caste system evolved, and it became this complex societal system based on job. So the caste system, a caste is a social class whose members are identified by their jobs. And so a caste is something they were born into and that they could not change during their lifetime. So whatever caste you were born into, you are stuck in for this lifetime. Now, remember, I just said this lifetime. We'll get to it in a second. Based on what caste you were born into, decided who you would marry, who you could hang out with, What kind of job would you have, and so on and so on. All right. A lot of it was based on who your parents were. If your parents was a farmer, then you are going to be a farmer type of system. Occupation was passed down generation to generation. And then it eventually becomes based in Hinduism, not in the original form. It wasn't based in Hinduism. But as the years progressed, it did become based in Hinduism in the idea of karma. Can somebody tell me what karma means? Correct, right? Good actions, good deeds, you have a better next life. So they believed if you lived in your caste and you performed the duty that your caste was meant to be, that's called dharma. Right? You did your personal duty. That in the next life you would move up a caste. So a caste is something you were born into. You could not change during this lifetime. You had to just continue to have good karma and good dharma in order to progress in the next life. So what were the different social classes? So again, remember, we know that a social structure or a social class pyramid is a triangle. So at the top, you had the Brahmins, and those are the priests. Okay, so Brahmins, the priests. So because the priests were at the top of the social class, social structure, what does that say about the role of religion in the Aryan society? Right, you're correct. Right, it was high priority. It played a significant role in Aryan society. Right, the Brahmins were the highest social class. Right, they were priests that performed religious ceremonies for the people. So underneath them is a group called the Kshatriyas, Kshatriyas, and this is called the warrior caste. And these are men that protected lands and cities and became wealthy. This included powerful rulers and the government officials, or nobles. So the Kshatriyas were rulers, nobles, / government officials, and warriors. They protected the lands and the cities, and they became wealthy. Okay, and then the next group, you had the Vaisya. And the Vaisya is the common people who had skills. So they were the skilled workers. So they were farmers, merchants, artisans, shopkeepers, bankers, and so on. All right, so they were the skilled people. And then you had the Sudras. Those were the laborers. Those were the farm workers. So not this different. And then not even part of the caste system. And we watched a video on it. They're not even part of the caste. They don't even have their own caste. It's the untouchables. All right, so technically this is not even a social class. Even though this social class is not part of the caste system, it is below it. The untouchables did the types of work that no one else wanted to do. They carried the dead bodies. They picked up trash. They skin animals. All right, so they do the dirty jobs that no one else wants to do. All right, so this is the caste system. So the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaisya, the Sudras, and then the untouchables, or the Dalits, as it is today. And as you notice in this chart, right, the white is Aryans, the gray is non-Aryans. So it kind of tells you what role people had in Aryan society. And so the last thing we want to talk about is the Aryan religion, known as Brahminism. Brahma is the Brahmins are the priest. So, I wonder where they got this name from. Okay, so Brahminism is early Aryan religion. They worshipped many nature gods. So that the fact that they worshipped many gods meant they were polytheistic. Brahmins made sacrifices to the gods by offering animals to a sacred fire. The Vedas are ancient Sanskrit text, contained rituals of Aryan religion and many hymns to their gods. So this was an ancient Sanskrit text, the Vedas, that contained rituals of Aryan religion and many hymns to their gods. And we know that the Vedas is the sacred writing of the Hinduism, of the Hindu faith. So remember, the Hinduism is a combination of Indian and Aryan beliefs. So this is where that the Aryan side comes in. Okay, so this is it for lesson 7.2. Now you can go fill out the few notes pages that I have for you in Google Classroom. If you have any questions about this information, please let me know so I can help you out.